Good morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you're watching from. Welcome to the live launch coverage. Welcome to the live launch coverage of Vikram-I with Aagaman. Today we are joined by some crazy people today, and I've never seen them this crazy before. Let's start with Kaden. Hello.
Hi.
What
Sorry for
is wrong with you,
screaming.
Kaden?
There was a bug in my room.
What's wrong with you, man? Anyway,
There's a bug in my room.
what's a bug doing in your room?
I don't know.
Jeez, you need to get that under control.
Anyway, thank you for joining with us for today's TSDG coverage of the Vikram with what was it, Aagaman?
Yeah, this is
Aagaman
probably going to be the
mission.
weirdest launch coverage because of you.
Oh dang, bro.
But we're also here joined by Max, who's going to make it worse.
Okay. Hello. I'm very excited.
Oh my god. Sorry guys. My mom's spam texting me before the launch. She keeps saying, "Come brush your teeth."
Can I introduce myself?
No.
Oh man.
Go ahead, Max. Please.
This is the worst stream of all time.
No, this is better than Flight 13.
Okay.
Better, yes.
Okay, so we're here for Vikram-I launch. I think it's gonna be very cool.
I guess. It's kind of small, but it's there.
Yes, it's there. Wow,
it is
genius.
there. Yo.
Is that like a movie theater?
No, that's Michigan.
What is this coverage?
Yo, that's ISRO mission control. That's just the launching.
No, that's Skyroute mission control, buddy.
Yeah, no. The one that Max called the movie theater.
Oh. Yeah, they really need to upgrade that. Look, did you see Skyroute's mission control? Like, it looks so much better than ISRO has. Bunch of people who skip school even though it's summer. Watching a little rocket about to blow up. I'm kidding.
Cad, we're gonna ban you, bro.
Hey, this is a private company, so technically you can say what we want.
Oh yeah, are they public? I don't know.
No, it's private.
Oh, okay, fully private. Good.
Yeah. SpaceX could learn from that.
Anyways, today's gonna be an historic launch, though. Who's excited?
Yes, I hope many people are here to watch it today. Not
a lot of people are here though, so we're sorry if I was a little annoying during the start of the stream. My bad, y'all.
No, I think more viewers come.
Please in chat for the lovely viewers who are watching. In chat. Please.
Nope, I'm not doing that. Nope.
I just broke.
Anyways, listening to the coverage. We'll be back soon.
As you can
we'll be back.
This launch is
kind of unique and useful as well. That's really interesting to hear, Suresh. And coming back to steering of a rocket engine, for the information of all of our viewers, so this is a rocket model that I'm holding in my hand. So if you suspend it in the air, or space we can say, it has unconstrained 6 degrees of freedom, out of which like 3 are straight line motion, or let us say translational, in which it can move forward, backward, upward, downward, and sideways. And 3 degrees of rotation are rotational, which we call as pitch, yaw, and roll. So these are the 3, or let us say, mechanisms that are like, we can say, help in steering the rocket engine and the entire vehicle in the sense.
That's right, Akhil. And I believe different parts of the vehicle handle different pieces of that. So on the way up, the solid rocket motors steer in pitch and yaw by swiveling their nozzles. Roll, which is the spin around the rocket's own axis, is handled separately by a small dedicated liquid system during the climb. We have a set of 4 thrusters which fire in pairs to control the roll of the vehicle. And once in space, OM does its own point pointing with the help of small thrusters, which Suyash will tell us about.
Yeah. So on the OAM stage, on the periphery of the stage, we have what we call as Raman mini thrusters. So they essentially generate 50 newtons worth of thrust, and they help in attitude keeping, which is essentially making sure that the spacecraft points in the right direction. So that covers the pitch and yaw. What do we do about roll, one might ask? So we have like these small cold gas thrusters. They're placed along the periphery of the stage as well, and they fire in pairs. So with that, they're capable of generating a rolling moment to roll the vehicle. Now, this whole architecture that we talked about, it's something that answers purely to the requirements. It's powerful where it needs to be, and incredibly precise where accuracy matters the most. And this is a philosophy that we've extended beyond propulsion. So all our structures on the rocket are made out of carbon fiber. This is India's first launch vehicle, which is made purely out of carbon fiber. And it's 5 times lighter than steel. We also employ advanced propulsion technologies. All our liquid engines are additively manufactured or 3D printed. And all of this, what it contributes to is it reduces the weight, it improves performance, and also increases manufacturing efficiency. The net sum of all these decisions is you have a rocket which is reliable, on demand, and affordable.
That's true, Suyash. So an update for our viewers, just a while back, we got a confirmation that the guidance, navigation and controls team, they have successfully completed gyro compassing and the static navigation profiling of the lens package. This is done so that the rocket knows its initial orientation with extremely high accuracy. In the process, the inertial navigation system determines the initial attitude of the vehicle by identifying the true north and the gravity direction with respect to a rotating Earth reference frame. So quite unique it is.
That's true. And it's something very important for you to know where your orientation is before you make that journey to stars. It's sort of like using a compass when you're going out camping. You want to know where north is so that you can chart your journey accordingly.
जी सुयश, और आई थिंक वायुयान में भी इसी सिद्धांत का प्रयोग किया जाता है और वो उसी सिद्धांतों पर निर्भर करती है। तो यदि अब हमको ज्ञात है कि रॉकेट किस दिशा में जा रहा है, हमारा विक्रम-1 प्रक्षेपक यान, आज की इस पूरी यात्रा का लक्ष्य क्या है, वो किस ओर प्रस्थान करेगा?
Today's test flight is attempting a 450 by 450 kilometers circular low Earth orbit, or LEO, a region of space widely used for Earth observation, communication and technology demonstration. But this is a maiden test flight. So what matters most today are the fundamentals. Today's test flight has 3 prime objectives: executing successful stage 1 ignition and liftoff, clearing the launch tower safely, and then gather as much data as possible from our onboard sensors.
अवश्य विदय, जैसे आपने कहा कि ये एक प्रथम परीक्षण उड़ान है, इसीलिए आज सबसे अधिक महत्वपूर्ण ये है कि अभियान के प्रमुख उद्देश्य को हम जान लें। प्रथम चरण का सफल प्रज्वलन, यान का सुरक्षित उड़ान पथ से निकास और अधिक से अधिक उड़ान अंकों का संकलन। किंतु अंतरिक्ष तक पहुंचना अत्यंत महत्वपूर्ण है, ये हम सब जानते हैं, बट सही कक्षा में उपग्रहों को स्थापित करना एक कठिन कार्य है, राइट?
That's absolutely right, Akhil. It's not sufficient to just simply reach the right altitude. The rocket must inject the payload with the correct velocity, the right flight path, and the precise orientation so that the satellite begins its mission exactly as planned.
Yeah, that's right. Now that we know where Vikram-1 is headed, let's talk a bit about what it's carrying today. So what's on board today's mission?
Vikram-1 is carrying 2 deployable test satellites today. The first one is Scope, a test satellite developed in-house by us as a technology demonstrator. Joining scope on today's mission is Solaris, a CubeSat developed by Graha Space, flying again as a technology demonstration payload. And from Germany, D-Cubed is testing two of its own systems, deployment and separation technologies built to work in orbit.
And there is one more interesting payload that we have is from Cosmoserve Space, and it's flying soft robotic arms along with the OEM stage that will attempt to capture a piece of simulated debris in orbit. That is a very interesting thing that they're attempting indeed. And it stays mounted to Vikram-I throughout the entire flight. And if it works, it will be the first of its kind to demonstrate this kind of a experiment. And it's an early step to clearing the space debris in general. That's a great initiative, I think.
Yes, definitely. And there's two more payloads on board, ones that celebrate creativity and India's scientific heritage. The first is Cosmic Bloom, a delicate floral diamond artwork from Cosmos Diamonds. The second is quite something else entirely. It's a micro art, an 18-karat gold rocket crafted by Telangana artist Ajay Kumar Matewada, holding three tiny sculptures of Nobel laureate Sir C.V. Raman and visionaries Dr. Vikram Sarabhai and Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. Each one of them is smaller than a grain of rice, and it's a fitting tribute because all these three names essentially live aboard Vikram-I itself. The Raman engines, the Vikram-I vehicle, and the Kalam motors. Now, as we count down, of course, it's worth taking a pause to appreciate where this journey is beginning from. Vikram-I lifts off from the first launch pad here at Satish Dhawan Space Center at Sriharikota, more familiarly called as the Shar Range, a place that has witnessed some of the most defining moments in India's space program.
That's correct, Suyash. This very pad has a proud history and legacy of its own. This is the exact place where Mangalyaan set off for Mars in 2023. And Sriharikota itself has launched India's greatest space journeys, like Chandrayaan to the moon, Aditya L1 to study the sun. And now, our very own Vikram-I adds its own chapter on its journey to the stars.
That's right, Akhil. Missions like Vikram-I are helping position India to serve the fast-growing global demand for small satellites, and they reflect a wider momentum as well. Under national initiatives championed by Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji, Make in India, Atmanirbhar Bharat, Skill India, this country has been building exactly the kind of indigenous innovation, advanced manufacturing, and high technology skill that a vehicle like this is built on, and which is why today's mission is of utmost national importance.
Yeah, and in some of those initiatives that you mentioned, we also have Gati Shakti, which has essentially eased the way we get approvals and get things done. For what could used to take years on end, now is simplified to a matter of minutes just sitting at home.
अवश्य, किंतु उस तीव्र गति और तीव्र प्रगति का बड़ा भाग एक महत्वपूर्ण मोड़ से जुड़ा है, जो कि 2020 में ऐतिहासिक अंतरिक्ष नियमों के परिवर्तन के परिणाम स्वरूप जो इन स्पेस संस्थान की स्थापना हुई थी, और इस संस्थान का कार्य शासन तंत्र और निजी अंतरिक्ष क्षेत्र के मध्य एक समर्थ, सुगम और दूरदर्शी सेतु की स्थापना करना था, जो कि काफ़ी कठिन कार्य है। और स्काईरूट जैसी सभी संस्थानों की ये यात्रा को सशक्त और आधार प्रदान करता है। इसीलिए हम इन स्पेस के प्रति हार्दिक कृतज्ञता व्यक्त करते हैं।
That's right. We have live on our screens views from the launch gallery where hundreds of students, actually thousands of students, have joined us on this historic mission. These are the people who are the future of our nation, and we encourage them to join us on this journey with us to the stars. Take up projects in future which contribute to the space sector and the national space ecosystems as well. Now that we've explored the significance of today's mission, let's take a closer look at what Vikram-I is about to do in a few minutes. Of course, Vikram-I will lift off and ascend vertically from the launch pad before executing a pitch-over maneuver, and from there it will gradually transition into what's known as a gravity turn.
That sounds a little counterintuitive, and if the launch vehicle is headed straight to space, then why does the rocket just keep not going straight up?
That's a great question, Akhil. While gaining altitude is important, reaching orbit is all about building horizontal velocity. The gravity turn allows the rocket to efficiently accelerate around the Earth rather than simply away from it, using less propellant while achieving the velocity needed for orbit.
Event number 104.
Yeah, and we've just heard callouts from the Mission Control Center that the automatic launch sequence has been activated. It's one of the preliminary starts to the program and a very important point. At this point, the countdown is now fully automated with hundreds of onboard commands executed in precise sequence, leading us to liftoff.
And although the process is entirely automated, I believe the mission teams are closely involved, right? They have to ensure that every system is operating at its nominal health conditions.
And correct, Vaidhi, if any one of the many critical parameters that we observe during the entire sequence goes out of its nominal expected bounds, then the rocket smartly aborts the entire sequence and initiates a preloaded set of commands, and that will safeguard the entire vehicle. And then the people stationed at the ground or the engineers can have a closer look. And if the issue can be resolved within the stipulated time, then we'll have the sequence back again and we can go ahead with the launch.
Yeah, that's right. This is something very useful to have wherein engineers can resolve faults and understand if there's something that can be quickly fixed, and then we can continue back on ALS. So I think we were just talking about what the rocket does. And once stage one powers the vehicle for nearly 100 seconds, something important comes, which is max Q.
Right, you're right, Suyash. As the vehicle continues to pitcher and accelerate, it approaches one of the most demanding phases of ascent. Nearly 25 seconds into the flight after the gravity turn is max Q, the moment of maximum dynamic pressure. This is when the rocket experiences the greatest aerodynamic loads, a true test of its structural strength and engineering precision.
Yeah. So now we're at T-minus 9 minutes and we're entering another crucial phase of the launch countdown. The launch team is now carrying out a final series of vehicle health checks and making sure that Vikram-I is fully prepared for flight.
Yeah, as we can see on our screens, one of the most key milestones at this stage has been completed. That is the transition from the external ground power to the rocket's onboard batteries. Up till now, the vehicle has relied on its own ground support systems, but from this point forward, every stage must successfully power itself. And engineers are closely watching the battery performance and electrical health to ensure that this transition is very smooth and every system remains entirely stable.
Right, Akhil. With the power transition complete, attention would shift to the rocket steering system. Engineers will now be verifying that the thrust vector control, or the actuators as we call it, the mechanisms which steer the rocket by precisely directing thrust through powered flight.
Yeah, and you mentioned these actuators. Essentially, all of our solid rocket motors are equipped with what is known as a flex nozzle control. Sounds like a big complicated term, but it's quite simple. It's just the nozzle is capable of swinging in two planes, and the way we achieve this motion is by using electromechanical actuators. So you might imagine that this is something very important that we should check. So what engineers do is they perform something known as a null check. Essentially, they currently try to hold the nozzle in a neutral position. And then once that is confirmed, they provide small commands to the nozzle to deflect it. And if the response is deemed to be normal and the position is correct, we can be rest assured that the rocket will obey every command that is issued to it by the guidance computer. All right, live on your screens right now is the Vikram-I rocket. And for a long time now, we've been looking at these views, and the biggest thing that comes out to our mind is, wow, that's a marvelous piece of engineering. And it's actually rocket science, right? There's a nearly 1,000 systems that need to work in perfect synchrony just to make liftoff happen. And that's 2/3 of all systems on rocket. So 2/3 of all systems on the rocket need to work perfectly to make liftoff happen. And while it's so easy to look at the rocket and be amazed by its beauty, we would like to take a small pause and focus on the fact that behind every bolt, every wire, every line of code that is on the rocket today, it's been built by people. People whose passion, perseverance, and dedication have made this moment possible. Of course, a launch vehicle is never built overnight, and it's the result of countless people obsessing over one thing to make it perfect.
Exactly, Suyash. We often celebrate rocket launches, but rarely appreciate the engineering complexity behind that. And the most primary guiding principles in Skyroot is our people are our thrust. So it's not just the rocket alone that pulls the company up. It's just the people that pushing forward, pushing the entire technology forward, and all the hard work. So Vaidehi, after working on an orbital launch vehicle yourself throughout these years, what has been your biggest realizations in designing the rocket?
So one of the most important realizations which I've had is, as Suyash also mentioned earlier, rocket consists of almost around 1,000 independent subsystems, and they are deeply interconnected. A seemingly small error in one discipline can propagate through multiple subsystems and ultimately jeopardize the entire mission. Rockets operate with extremely tight margins, so local design inaccuracies rarely remain local. This interconnectedness is precisely what makes launch vehicle design both extraordinarily challenging and intellectually rewarding. Each deviation might appear acceptable individually, but they can also collectively, they can all consume all the design margins available.
Yeah, so we have a planned hold at this point. As you might see on your screens, the timer is paused at 5 minutes. So we will be checking with the internal teams, and we'll get back to you with the countdown shortly. All right, while we wait for this countdown to resolve, there's so many cool facts about space, and something really fascinating that always catches me is when Vikram-I races through the atmosphere, it's not just fighting gravity, it's also battling extreme aerodynamic heating. And one thing that's always curious is, why is the rocket heating up while it's going up in the atmosphere?
Right. So as we are accelerating into the dense atmospheres of Earth with velocities almost 3 times, 4 times that of sound, the air in front of the vehicle rapidly gets compressed, and just outside the vehicle surface will have extremely high temperatures, which then get convected into the vehicle surface. So just a simple question. Do you guys know, like, what is the heat flux which we face standing on the Earth's surface due to the Earth's radiation?
I think 1000 watt per meter square, kind of. Am I right?
That's right. That is 1000 watt per a meter square. It's around 0.1 watt per centimeter square. When Vikram-I ascends into the Earth's atmosphere, its nose tip can face around 15 watt per centimeter squares of heat flux.
That's pretty large, I mean, as compared to humans, if we... Yeah,
that's right. And we really need to design a thermal protection system to keep the structural design under the set constraints. If we don't design any thermal protection system, the vehicle surface might end up going to 1500 degrees Celsius. And
Control to all stations. There is a hold observed at T-minus 5 minutes. All stations are requested to be on standby mode.
We have received confirmation that this is a planned hold, and we've been advised to stay on standby. We will communicate regular updates to you, so please stay tuned with us.
So just for safety sake, we'll do the next trivia, which is hold Kalam. Like the names. Already hold there, na? I don't know if it went through, so I don't want to repeat. Okay. क्या बोलेगा तू क्या बोल रहा है ये कला भाग से पर मैं ऑलरेडी हिंदी में तो मैंने बोल ही दिया था
Ask them to show commentators and QR mics. We'll continue.
नहीं भाई मैं ये ऑलरेडी बोल चुका हूँ एपीजे कलाम साहब का
That's a very easy.
I'll start with igniter meet solid versus no solid नॉजल फ्लेक्सिंग पे बोल दूँ क्या तू बोल रहा मैं बोल नहीं ये मिला रहे नहीं छोड़ रहे
All right. Another fun fact while we wait for this hold to resolve is we always take pride in naming our hardwares, and most of them have been in honor of some exceptional minds. So, Akhil, why don't you tell us about some of our naming conventions?
Yeah, I mean, if you can see in the rocket itself, all our rockets and the launch vehicles are named in the honor of Dr. Vikram Sarabhai, the very father of Indian space program, we call him. And all our solid rocket motors, their names are dedicated to Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, our very own missile man. And all our cryogenic engines, we have dedicated the names to Dr. Satish Dhawan, which we are the center we have also Satish Dhawan Space Center dedicated to him. And then we have our hypergolic engines, Raman. And then we have dedicated that name to Nobel laureate Dr. C.V. Raman, and our mission computer after the renowned mathematician Srinivas Ramanujam.
So yeah, I think we're gonna keep up this idea of naming our hardwares after scientists
until we run out of scientists. Yeah.
So I think we need the young budding viewers who've joined us in the launch gallery to become scientists themselves and famed scientists who take India to great heights, so that we may have names.
Yes, right now maybe. Coming to one more interesting fact, I think a lot of people, they don't know this. If you look at a launch vehicle, it seems pretty rigid at first. But the interesting fact is when the entire rocket, when in flight, it experiences combined effect of aerodynamic loads, engine thrust, wind gust, and due to different steering maneuvers, the teams or the designers deliberately give some flexure, or they make rockets slightly less rigid so that it can actually bend along its length throughout the flight. This is intentional, that designing an absolutely rigid rocket would make it significantly heavier and less efficient. And it also creates a complex engineering challenge. As the structure bends, the onboard sensors can detect these motions, so the guidance and control system must distinguish the rocket's actual altitude and structural flexing to avoid unnecessary control corrections. And engineers carefully predict these bending modes and their natural frequencies through the structural dynamics and aeroelastic analysis, ensuring the vehicle remains stable even as it flexes its way through one of the most demanding phases. And this flexure could go up close to
10, 10 centimeters, I think. Yeah, close to 10 centimeters. That's pretty huge.
That's right, Akhil. Something for the kids who might be, looking at this live stream. So rockets don't just fly, they keep falling around Earth. It might be difficult to imagine this, but people often imagine astronauts escaping Earth's gravity. The truth is, gravity never lets go. Even the International Space Station is constantly falling towards the Earth, but it's moving sideways at so high speed that it keeps missing the ground. And that's what we call as orbit.
Yeah, that's wonderfully put.
Orbit is a state of perpetual free fall.
Yeah,
Wow.
that's right. And you spoke about how astronauts on the International Space Stations are also constantly falling towards Earth. And with us today in the Mission Control Center is our very own astronaut, Shubhanshu Shukla. And he's been following Skyroot's journey from a very close distance. He's part of our family as well. And he's here to cheer us on. So we thank him for his presence.
One more interesting fact for our viewers that rockets get lighter every second. Unlike an airplane, a rocket becomes lighter every second because it continuously burns and throws away propellant. Because in aircrafts we have air-breathing engines, so the oxidizer itself is the air that the turbofan sucks in. But when you have a rocket, you cannot have. Yeah. So when we are dealing with rockets, there is no air, outside air can enter and can be utilized for propulsion. So we have to carry our own bottles of oxidizers and fuel. And once the rocket is ignited and it's on its way through the entire flight, the propellant is expelled. And when the stage gets burned out, it's also thrown away or jettisoned. So that is why rocket keeps accelerating, because there is less and less mass to push.
That's right, Akhil. A rocket may weigh hundreds of tons on the launch pad. Consider our Vikram-I, it weighs around 45,000 kgs on the launch pad, but nearly 90% of that weight is just propellant.
That's really amazing. That structural mass is so less. I mean,
The views on your screen are from the launch gallery at Sriharikota, and we have thousands of students who've joined us from all over the nation, and they're eagerly waiting the launch of India's first privately built orbital launch vehicle, Vikram-I. And of course, like I mentioned earlier, it's a test flight, and we'll be doing a few of these before we move into routine commercial operations. We are in a state of hold for now. For the viewers who've just joined us, we have successfully initiated the automatic launch sequence at T-minus 11 minutes. And a lot of the key events that went into this have been executed. We have a hold right now at T-minus 5 minutes. And just to recap, we've had the switch over to internal power, wherein the vehicle is now powering itself. All of the null checks on our actuators have been completed. So essentially, the vehicle's steering systems are in great health. And we're at a planned hold. One quick look at the rocket as well, standing on the launch pad. All right. We're getting updates from the mission control teams. The hold that you observe on your screens was due to a hold raised by the navigation team.
Vehicle directed to launch control. Please do the needful pre-exercises to reinitiate ALS and confirm your readiness.
And we've gotten confirmation that we will be starting ALS shortly. So please stay tuned. So we had a planned hold, and we've just heard from the mission teams below that we are ready to restart the automatic launch sequence shortly. And just to recap once again, Vikram-I is on the launch pad. It's ready and eagerly awaiting its first test flight. We've had the initiation of the automatic launch sequence, and through that we've completed the internal power switchover, which means the vehicle is now powering itself using its own batteries. We've also had the null checks been completed, and we're now waiting for the next window to come about for the ALS to restart.
So now that we know that the ALS is on hold and soon we'll be back with a new time and the restart of ALS, let's talk about the entire journey of Vikram-I, the mission sequence. Now we know that first 100 seconds of the flight, the stage 1 will power the rocket to the denser layers of the atmosphere, and exactly at an altitude of 53 kilometers at 103 seconds, the stage 1 burnout will happen and the stage separation will initiate. And after that, the stage 2 will ignite and it will power the rocket through the thinner layers of the atmosphere while keeping the same level of acceleration. That is the point. And later on in the stage 2, during the stage 2 burn duration, later half, you have the payload fairing and it separates, and this is the first time when the payload or the satellite is exposed to the atmosphere or to the space, the higher layers of atmosphere, which is exactly nearly close to space. Yeah. Having protected the satellite throughout the ascent, that the fairing's job is done.
Yeah, that's right, Akhil. And you mentioned that the PLF, or the payload fairing, is the portion that essentially protects the satellite from the difficulties of the environment that the rocket goes through. The question then becomes, how do we separate all our stages, right? So we use something which is very unique, and we're very proud of that. In-house to Skyroot, we have the separation teams which have developed a pneumatic ultra-low shock mechanism. And the whole goal of this mechanism is it relays very little shock to the payload itself. So the payloads usually carry very sensitive electronics and instruments. So if you have a shock event come about, it may damage some of the sensitive instruments. So that's why we specifically made it a point to develop this pneumatic ultra-low shock separation mechanism.
Like, for the knowledge of our viewers, I would also like to reiterate, most typical rockets, they use pyrocords, which use explosive charge to shear out the bolts and separate or jettison the entire stage, which could be catastrophic for some sensitive payloads. That is very costly and could be like, you might lose some data from the satellite and affect its workability.
Control here, go ahead.
Definitely.
Still external hold mode is coming.
Right.
Noted.
Now, even after the payload fairing has separated, the job isn't done yet, right? The climb is still going on. Stage 3 steps in and it generates quite a large amount of thrust to essentially power the vehicle into orbit. It keeps pushing it to near orbital velocities. And then comes something different, like we talked about earlier. We have the orbital adjustment module that kicks in. And this is the stage that I got to work on very closely. Like I mentioned earlier, it was a team of very ingenious, multidisciplinary members. We had teams from systems, propulsion, dynamics,
set the revised
quality, safety, reliability, CFD, design. I mean, you cannot count these fields on the fingers of your hand, and they all had to work in unison
Control
to
to all ground stations.
build this stage.
All ground stations to
And
note.
then once
Revised
it starts
T0
working,
is
it
at
will precisely
12:05
place
30 hours
all of
IST.
these satellites into its intended orbit. And you might feel like all of this is happening.
Go.
All of this is happening.
We are we
there's
currently
so many things
have
happening, right? But
a
it's
release
just
of that
16
5-minute hold.
That's all it takes.
We are now looking
minutes,
at
20
20
Fast, but it
minutes
seems
until
really
the
long.
launch.
Like it took
of
us
the
like
first
1 hour from
Vikram-I.
the entire bus stand to reach Sriharikota. But as Suyash pointed out, so it's such the complexity. Looking at the complexity of it, it's like an entire opera house. You have to be like a soprano. You have to be so perfect. Every system, every individual, and every component should be in tune to engage all the systems at the right moment, so that we can have even a small ignition. And now we have a Vikram-I, which has close to 1,000 subsystems, and almost 2/3 of it will be utilized just even at liftoff. That's really fascinating.
So we've gotten confirmation, and you might see it on your screen shortly as well. The countdown has restarted. We are resetting to T-minus 20 minutes, and we are at T-minus 19 minutes for the information of all our viewers.
Other ground stations about the new T0. Please
To
confirm on
control
that.
timing in external
Cairo
hold mode.
CNC copied, new PGM files shared.
Roger.
Timing to control timing in external hold mode.
Roger.
Cairo LCC to all, S2 and S3 HMS is event number 97 completed.
Roger. Control to LCC, MCC and RSO. Please note timing confirmed, external hold mode.
Cairo LCC to all station. New T0 is 12:05 30 seconds.
All right, we are hearing from the mission control that the new T0 time, or the liftoff time for
T-minus 18
mission
minutes.
Aagaman, is reset to 12:05 p.m. So stay tuned. We'll be with you, and we'll give you some more space trivia. We have a lot of those, and we'll also take you through the journey of the rocket as well. You know, many of the times, one of the questions that comes is, why space? You know, it's so hard. Getting to space is hard enough. Getting to space on the first try is even
All
harder.
stations to note.
So if it's so
Director
hard,
authorized the launch
why do
of
it at all?
Vikram-I mission Aagaman.
What does it hold of such huge importance that we want to strive for making to the stars?
I mean, if you think about it, all the activities that, happen on Earth, they are connected in some or the other way to space. Space has quietly become a part of our daily life. Every weather forecast, every map that guides us home, every digital payment and long distance call leans on us. It all leans on a satellite somewhere overhead.
And I mean, it's like the human curiosity that takes you really farther. And like humans, we actually like complex things, and we just it's not just enough to stay on one planet. And so that's why the man decided to take a decision to set off to some higher horizons. And it is still, after 80-90 years, the complexity still remains so high in space travel.
Yeah, and one question that comes about is, how do you make all of that happen?
The new launch IST is 12:05 30 seconds.
Right, we've just gotten call out and confirmation that the new T0 is 12:05 p.m. Just as a reiteration to all our viewers. So we were talking about what it takes to make all of these happen, and of course we would like to thank ISRO for all their support, from opening the doors to the Satish Dhawan Space Center, the historic first launch pad, issuing us guidance and helping us with all the nitty-gritty details. They've worked with us day and night on this. They've treated this vehicle as though it were their own. And they're so committed to making sure that mission Aagaman reaches its intended orbit, that they've essentially become a part and parcel of the Skyroot family.
They treated the vehicle as their own, as you correctly said, Suyash. Like, they have been involved with us throughout the entire campaign,
directed to Skyroot
helped
launch
us,
control.
and along with ISRO, we would also like to take a pause to thank InSpace, and they have acted as a bridge between the government organization, facilitating all the review meetings, everything, and allowing us access to SHAR, all the policies, all the reforms. So thank you, InSpace, for all the efforts, and thank you for rooting for Skyroot.
Yeah, one interesting thing, and this is a personal experience as well. We did Mission Prarambh in November 2022. And believe it or not, the headquarters of InSpace were inaugurated in June 2022.
Just 6 months from our first launch.
So you might have to imagine that it's just 6 months, and they've had to imagine and they have to write and draft all the policies that are required. They have to make sure that they know how the mission is going to be, regulated. What do we need to do to essentially handhold the space sector, the private space sector?
It was very seamless, indeed, very seamless. The way they took all of it.
Yeah, very true. It definitely is not an easy job, and they've excelled at it. Same goes with ISRO. We've had, cases where they've been chasing after us.
Yeah. I remember those days.
Yeah, and it's quite, empowering to know that the government is playing such a huge role in helping make this happen. We talk about Atmanirbhar Bharat. We talk about Viksit Bharat 2047. And all of these technologies, what the private sector is trying to build today, is essentially contributing to that goal. If we want to be the world leaders, we need to start now.
Exactly, Suyash. Like, I was fortunate enough to visit the LPSC test facility when I was with the Raman 1 test campaign. It was a very great experience. I mean, and the coordination with the ISRO teams and the way they facilitated the entire test campaign and the data analysis, and post-test, the data came like really fast, and like they were after us and they were very patient with us. So yeah, that was a really great experience for the young engineer like me.
Yeah, and that sort of reminds me to the stage test that we did just a couple of months ago. I think nearly 9 months ago.
Yeah, around I think October.
Yeah, October I think. And so that was the test of the orbital adjustment module. It was a all-inclusive test. We had the entire stage. We had all the engines, the thrusters. We had the avionics. We had something quite interesting and melodic as well. We played Sare Jahan Se Acha using the Raman Mini thrusters on the stage, which was something very unique, very captivating to the young minds. Many people did not think that you could play music out of the screeching sounds of 50 Newton Raman Mini thrusters.
Again, an opera, I told you, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Just give me a go. When to say? Just give me a go when to say. अभी तो हम pause है ना?
Do one thing. Let it go into ALS. We'll give ALS command. तीन बार बोल दे कि छोटे power.
T minus 11 minutes.
यहाँ से start करेंगे. तो उसके पहले फिल्म ALS का introduction. You are quiet. Ground stations are ready. Yes. And within 9 minutes. 9 minutes to do.
Automated launch sequence initiated.
Roger.
All right, we're at T minus 11 minutes again, T minus 30, 10:30, sorry. And the automatic launch sequence has begun. We are in the pre-checks phase at the moment, where all the teams are essentially checking the health of the vehicle once again, making sure that all systems are operational and go for launch.
Before that, we had one confirmation that all the ground stations supporting today's mission, they have completed their readiness checks. As the vehicle travels downrange, telemetry will seamlessly transition between multiple ground stations, from Shah to Port Blair, then Bogor in Indonesia, and then finally Yatharaga in Australia. This network ensures continuous communication with the launch vehicle, with all mission data relayed back to mission control in real time.
That's right. And just to recap to all our viewers, some of the callouts that have happened till now. We first had the acquisition of day of launch winds, which is we acquire using a Doppler weather radar the winds prevalent. And as Akhil mentioned earlier, it's slightly a cloudy day today for launch, but come rain or sunshine, we are always ready to launch.
Yeah, the rain can't stop us, I think.
Yeah. And the next thing that we managed to do is, of course, the guidance teams have completed the static navigation profile as well as the gyro compassing of the LINS package. So this is kind of the sensor which tells the attitude of the vehicle, essentially tells you how you're oriented with respect to Earth. And it's something very important that the vehicle has to do. It needs to know where north is and where the direction of gravity is. Post that, like he just confirmed, we've had all the ground stations. We have 4 ground stations supporting us today. Shar, which is where we are coming to you live from. And then we have Port Blair, following which we have Bogor in Indonesia. And finally, the Yatharaga ground station in Australia. So all of these ground stations essentially capture telemetry, which is the data from the vehicle, and relay it instantaneously to us.
Yeah, Suyash, you were mentioning about how we also see the wind profiles. The wind profiles are also checked. Just a while back, they were checked. And as I can see on the MCC, this wind profile or this data of the winds is also going to be uploaded into the mission computer in the sequence that is coming up. And also one of the key milestones which have been completed is the transition from external ground power to the rocket's onboard batteries. The vehicle has relied on ground support systems till now, but from this point forward, every stage must successfully power itself. So engineers, I believe, are watching the battery performances and electric health right now to ensure that the transition is smooth and every system is remaining stable as of now.
And for this ALS sequence also, we have completed all the null checks for all the stage nozzles, and the FNCs are working as fine as possible. And we are also happy that Dr. Jitendra Singh, Honorable Minister of Space, is joining us live on video call, and he's rooting for Team Skyroot.
We're at T minus 6 minutes and counting. For the viewers who've just joined us recently, on your screens right now is the Skyroot Launch Control Center situated at Shar. We have many engineers looking at the vitals of the vehicle. This includes different teams, starting from avionics, guidance, navigation, control, liquid propulsion, solid propulsion, safety, reliability, quality, and of course our IT teams as well. One of the things that has also been completed just now is the uploading of the mission computer init files. And that's a funny name of sorts, but it essentially means initialization files. These are essentially files that contain all the requisite parameters to tell the vehicle what it needs to do in the early ascent of flight. It adjusts for the day of launch wind profiles that we talked about. It also has the gyro compassing details within it.
And now we have confirmation that mission computer mode has been successfully changed to flight mode, and we are really jubilant and everybody is really happy that this stage has been successfully transitioned, and now we'll move towards the next check, that is HMSA disarming.
As we enter the final few minutes of countdown, another key safety milestone is underway. The head mount safe arm mechanism will be activated in a while, and till now it was ensured that the ignition chain has remained safely isolated.
That's right, Vaidehi. For the viewers who are very curious for this, the head mount safe arm mechanism, which we refer to as HMSA, is a safety device which is mounted at the head of our solid rocket motors. And suppression systems. We have 4 lightning towers on the first launch pad. But there can also be some form of electrical runaway. There can also be static discharge. So to safeguard all these
And welcome back, everyone, to the launch coverage of Vikram-I with Aagaman from the Satish Dhawan Space Center in India. We're less than 3 minutes away now to hopefully the launch of Vikram-I, and you can see Skyward Mission Control on your screen. Now, if you're just joining us, we're joined here by our co-commentators today. Let's introduce Kat first.
Hello, everybody.
Hello, Kat.
Great
How are you
to
doing
be
today?
Great to be here for the launch of Vikram-I. Very, very historic day for the entire team. Like, this is just absolutely just amazing in the works here.
Indeed. Now, also here today will be Max.
Hello.
Hello. How are you feeling for these final 2 minutes before launch?
I'm excited. We know we know the milestone involved in this launch. This is the first privately owned space company to launch an orbital rocket from India.
That is correct.
Very historic, and it's also very exciting that we're watching it live right here.
Yeah, I said, we're currently just around 90 seconds to go until history could be made here. As I said, once those solid rocket boosters ignite, there's no going back. That is commit to launch, because solid fuel cannot be turned off. So once that engine ignites, there's no going back, and the vehicle will launch.
Yep. I'm just going to start
the last 80 seconds. So this will be the last 80 seconds. So absorb this in. This is the last 80 seconds that you will have in your life that India has not launched a private rocket, hopefully.
Yeah. We're also behind the scenes here today. Just recording
1
now.
minute to go. This is the last 60 seconds.
And join you shortly.
In 60 seconds, India will make history. It's the first. I'll take
50 seconds.
Go for launch. I'll call you back when you're done.
Minus 45 seconds.
I'll call you back just during ascent. Okay, so 40 seconds to go. I'm going to lead you through this. I'll go in quiet commentary around 10 seconds. So next thing you're going to see You're gonna hear the countdown from the mission control in India. T minus 30.
Minus 30 seconds.
To go.
Real-time programs activated.
Once that SOP ignites, there's no going back. Here we go. 20 seconds.
Minus 20 seconds.
Minus 20 seconds is the call out now.
Minus 15 seconds.
15 seconds. Okay, here we go. Go Skyroot. Go Vikram-I. Go Aagaman.
8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
And we have liftoff of Vikram-I, India's first private orbital launch vehicle. And we have great views coming from the tracking cameras. And isn't this quite something?
Vikram-I off the pad. India's first privately developed rocket is off and away. T plus 20 seconds into the flight. Vikram-I, Aagaman is going to space. Everything will be 20 seconds. Very hard pitch over as usual for Sol rocket. Booster rocket. Here we go. 30 seconds into the flight. India history is underway.
And saved our clearance. This is your time.
That's
your
right,
country is currently making history.
Now, which is the period
Everything
of
good.
maximum
Pitch over.
aerodynamic pressure, where the
Continue
vehicle
good. 45
faces
seconds into
its
flight of
largest
Vikram-I's
aerodynamic loads
inaugural
as it
flight.
flies through this
50
zone
seconds.
at Mach 1.5 at an altitude of nearly 9
Currently going
kilometers.
from Mach 1.5. 50 on a minute into flight here. Vikram.
Plus 1 minute.
Next event
1 minute into
will
flight.
be
दल काफी उत्साहित है इस समय और विक्रम-I
separation.
प्रथम चरण के आगे बढ़ रहा है और हमें श्रीहरिकोटा व पोर्ट ब्लेयर पृथ्वी स्टेशन से मजबूत दूर संकेत मिल रहे हैं। बहुत ही अच्छी खबर है।
Performance is nominal.
That was a fast upper, man.
Range distance of 22 kilometers.
You can
Hearing
hear the
good
cheering in the
confirmations
background.
from mission
An
control.
altitude of
We have a good
34
SEP.
kilometers.
Oh,
look at
wow.
that.
And on your
Look
screens
at
right now,
that.
excellent
Holy cow. A
onboard
minute
camera
and a half
views
into flight.
from the vehicle.
Waiting on separation of the two
And we can
stages.
also see quite nominal chamber pressure values on the MCC screen.
Coming up here, minute 40
Nominal
seconds.
chamber pressure.
Cut off. Oh, there's the
Oh.
pad. Wow,
The
that really
vehicle
shows
is
the pad
currently
there.
at an
I think we lost
altitude
video.
of
See.
50 kilometers.
Waiting on
good.
प्रथम चरण का प्रतिकरण हो चुका है और द्वितीय चरण का प्रज्वलन भी प्रारंभ हो चुका है।
This is quite a major achievement for the nation with the vehicle
Ignited
successfully
stage 2.
Plus 2 minutes.
separating stage 1 and the ignition of stage 2 as well.
We're not
Stage
seeing it on the
2.
screen.
Stage 2.
द्वितीय चरण अपना सफलतापूर्वक कार्य पूरा कर रहा है
Stage 2.
We can confirm
और
stage 2
प्रथम चरण
is
का दहन
on.
अथवा प्रतिकरण समाप्त हो चुका है।
We have
Yeah.
confirmation stage 2 is
The vehicle
on.
is at
Go.
an altitude of
And as we talk
89
about, this is a
kilometers,
3-stage
traveling
rocket.
at
This is stage
2.6
2.
kilometers per second.
Once this
Of course, our
once the stage
target
separates,
velocity
stage
for today
3
is
will activate,
7.6.
carrying
We've
the
just
4
heard
payloads. So there it
callouts that the
is.
S2 performance of the
Oh,
stage two
wow.
Bearing
performance is
separation
nominal.
here. Talk about to carry
Man.
the 4 payloads
ये एक
towards
ऐतिहासिक
low Earth
क्षण है
orbit.
पूरे भारत और निजी अंतरिक्ष यात्रा का।
This vehicle has crossed 100 kilometers of altitude, which is the notion of edge of
Pharma
space. And we have reached space, guys.
Congratulations, Vikram-I is in space.
Congratulations, India! You have your
And
first
we've had
private
callouts
company to
of
reach
separation
space.
of the payload fairing. We have
Congratulations,
successful
India!
payload fairing separation.
This brings the next
It's
country
nearly at
to
an
launch.
altitude of 120 kilometers, and the protective fairing is
And
no
we
longer
have-
required and has been
Yes.
separated from the launch.
Yes.
यहाँ पे द्वितीय चरण का भी प्रतिकरण
Stage
संपन्न हो
3
चुका
has
है और तृतीय चरण का
Stage 3
प्रयास
is
भी प्रारंभ हो
ignited.
चुका है।
That's
And now
right,
this will
Akhil, we've
continue
had
to
successful
space.
ignition
Everything
of
looking good.
stage
3.5 minutes into the
The
flight of
vehicle is
Vikram-I.
currently at 157 kilometers above the Earth's surface. It is 355 kilometers downrange, traveling at nearly 4 kilometers per second.
You can
Now,
see everything
delivery
going
will
absolutely
switch over
splendid.
from Shar,
Third motor
Bogor
ignition.
and Pagda
You can hear the
to
clapping.
Bogor.
It's absolutely amazing.
अब यान अपनी अंतरिक्ष यात्रा पर निकल चुका है। तृतीय चरण का प्रज्वलन चालू है और उस
Plus 4 minutes.
की
Plus 4
प्रतिक्रिया
minutes. Everything
नियमित
looking
रूप
good
से
from those charts
चल
there.
रही है. And as you can see
Yeah.
on your screens, we have near exact following of the intended trajectory.
Looks like it's
The
a little
two
off, but that's totally
dotted
fine.
lines on your screen
Yeah, that
essentially
happens.
indicate the current performance of the
It's the
vehicle.
first
and it
flight.
closely
That is.
matches with
Oh
prediction.
goodness, is that good?
This is on your screen on
going
board
well.
from stage 3. What you see
Oh
is
goodness,
the
this
rocket
thing is
plume
fast.
and the nozzle.
On stage 3,
and
burnout.
Earth. Our
Bring
home.
off that on the
What a
screen,
beautiful
please.
view. क्या
Trying to.
सुंदर दृश्य है हमारी पृथ्वी का.
Yeah, trying to focus here.
Performance normal.
Stage 3 performance is nominal.
चरण का परफॉर्मेंस अब नॉर्मल है या
We could be witnessing history here in the next 30 seconds, everyone. Let's listen in.
चल रहा है.
That's right.
In the next 20 seconds, we should see history in the making.
Nominal.
Here we go.
Plus 5
Let's dig it.
minutes.
5 minutes into the flight of
So
Vikram-I.
stage 3 has a propellant loading of 2.5 tons.
We have
Shut down.
burnout of stage 3.
We've had burnout of the stage 3 motor as planned at
Oh, sorry, there's
5 minutes.
4 stages.
Yes, we've
My
gotten
bad.
Confirmation that S3
There's
has
4
burnt out,
stages.
and now we're entering.
How did they fit 4
a
stages
planned
in that
coast period.
small of a vehicle?
Something that lasts for 140 seconds, in which it's called as combined coast.
Coasting is normal.
Right, so we've got call out that the combined
Vikram
coast
1 is now in a coast phase.
But this is not over yet. It is not in orbit just yet. It doesn't have enough capability to do that. We're going to have stage 4 ignite, and that will propel the payloads towards space. But once those, like I said, mission does not end until those 4 payloads separate. History to make it. Though. This is farther. This is the first flight of Vikram-I, and look at how it's doing.
Before splashing in international waters.
Look at how happy they are.
Manner. And jubilant views from the launch control.
Very excited. Congratulations, Skyroot.
Oh.
मिशन नियंत्रण केंद्र और लॉन्च
It's not over yet, though.
दिखाई दे रहे हैं. सभी
Well, they're happy they made it to space. That's something, man.
प्रसन्न है और यहाँ पर जो प्रसंग है वो
It's hard to get to space.
बन चुका है. एक ऐतिहासिक क्षण भारत के निजी अंतरिक्ष उड़ान का विक्रम-1.
That's the first thing. That's already a big thing. But now,
स्थापित हो चुका है.
let's look for the second thing,
कोस्ट फेज
which
पे है.
is
Here we go. Coming up on stage 3 separation here in the next couple of moments, and then stage 4 ignition, and that will propel the payload towards orbit. So here we go.
So, what the vehicle's probably doing, it's going into an altitude, a specific altitude, and then once it reaches the apogee, stage 4 ignites, and it will propel itself to orbit.
If on stage 3 separation and stage 4 ignition.
It's not a success yet, Stargazer, or Chief. You should still see some steps before.
We are approaching another point.
Here we go.
Wherein S3 will.
Let's listen
Oh,
for stage 3 separate.
here we go. Confirmation. There it is.
There's SEP. We have a
Ooh.
SEP.
I'm not too happy with that separation.
Combined coasting has ended, and stage 4 will now coast on its own for the next 130 seconds. So stage 4 will now fly on its own.
We're still waiting.
No, that
Wait.
looked
That doesn't
off.
look too nominal. That doesn't look too nominal.
Continuously turning on and off to maintain that.
As for
Coasting
coasting nominal,
nominal.
Making sure that it is pointing the right.
We're gonna wait. It looks like it's a little off.
there's some time till ignition, so maybe it can resolve itself.
Satellite can be pointing in the right direction.
Still awaiting confirmation.
One unique thing
It can probably resolve itself.
has been done during
Skyroot knows what's going on. Of course, we're just speculating, but
fired all 4
we're waiting
Yeah.
to hear
If they're
official
cheering, it's
input from
okay.
Skyroot.
To sort of push
Yeah, it's going
stage
to.
4 away.
Oh goodness, it's still on there.
And that just sort
Oh.
Okay, it's showing stage 3.
minimum separation between the
Uh-oh.
I
Oh,
have no.
आने वाला जो चरण है वो
it's orbiting stage 3.
I have no idea.
Oh my goodness, you can
what
see the
is
fuel. You can see the
happening.
fuel swooshing around.
What is
I think
happening?
stage 4 is. I don't know if
I've
stage 4 is.
never seen this happen.
What is
Uh-oh.
going on?
It is. It is what?
They're happy they made it, but I don't know.
I don't.
It's not over yet.
What's happening?
Is it
Not over
normal?
yet. Oh, it's liquid fueled, but it's not solid fueled. It's just a random fuel mixture. It's not cold fuel, not like super cold. Hopefully this is good. Oh, come on. Oh,
Ignition. S4 ignited. It should be. I think it's normal.
S4 has ignited successfully.
They regained altitude control.
But I have no idea what that other thing was.
so we don't have visual of ignition at least. It's probably one of those fuels that you can't really see the plume.
I think it did it.
Oh wow, look at that.
Yeah, it's doing it. Wow.
Right. So despite what we saw,
needed to achieve its planned 450 by 450 kilometer circular low Earth orbit. At a 60
Wow, they actually survived that.
Let's see.
Yeah.
Still waiting. Oh, there's payloads, looks like.
Yeah, it's looking
Oh,
good.
there they are.
Everything's looking good now.
Commissar power on.
the commissar failed
Commissar.
right now.
No, it's just the power going on. It's not performance.
The Commissar space in orbit robotic arm embrace.
That's right, Akhil. We've also had seamless transition from the performance to the
Okay.
Performance is nominal.
Performance is nominal on stage 4. Not over yet, everyone. Gotta wait for stage 4 to shut down. Once stage 4 shuts down, we got once stage 4 shuts down, we have to wait for confirmation of nominal orbital insertion, and then they'll be in orbit.
We're traveling at 6.
But even after that, once all 4 payloads separate, mission success.
Like we said earlier, OAM is essentially
So this is huge moment here for Vikram-I.
6+ minutes. So this is the longest burning. It's the smallest in thrust, but it burns for the longest period of time.
Looks like it's gonna burn for next 6 minutes. Wow.
Given to us by Raman-2, our main engine for this mission.
So we're gonna wait here for a little bit.
It must be a really amazing feeling, right? I mean, you and your
This
team
is
worked on
yeah,
this engine to get
it's
it
a very
going, and it is
interesting rocket.
finally
We don't
taking
really
us to space.
know too much about it.
It's a feeling that's
No.
really hard to describe.
Oh my,
Me and
that
my
is
team,
red.
We worked on
That
this
is
engine to get it going, and it's finally taking us to space. This engine wasn't an easy design. Raman-2 generates 1500 newtons of thrust, and it
That's like 15 kilonewtons. Holy cow. That's not a lot.
If one wasn't enough, we had to put in 3. So we have regenerative cooling, then we have radiative cooling, and we have film cooling. And all 3
Wow,
of
that's a lot of
these,
cooling.
need to work seamlessly in sync to deliver this phenomenal outcome. So I'm kind of glued to the screens right now. You might just see me peeking over to try to see what the chamber pressure, what the thrust, and what the temperatures are like. But I think I might have to hold for a bit and look at that data in a little while.
Trajectory.
I think it shuts down like 15 minutes in flight, so it's gonna be a bit of one. It's gonna be like 15 to 16 minutes. Okay, so they're taking their chairs. What are they doing?
One mission control looks happy, the other one don't look too satisfied.
Because this one's partying that they made it.
Raman-2 and
What?
how
I'm looking
difficult it
at the
was
screens,
to
it's not going
essentially
right.
design an engine this small.
Uh-oh.
Like I said, it's a
Our raise
relatively
under.
small engine,
Oh, it's going up.
and
Fix itself.
the
Oh
cooling
my
design
God,
on
it
this was
actually fixed
exceptionally difficult to manage.
Holy cow.
Because the engine has to generate a lot of heat during
Holy
combustion,
cow, this
and the
rocket's
temperatures
sick.
can reach up to 2700 degrees.
Screw Israel. We
That's
Skyrim.
pretty
I'm
hot
kidding,
for
I'm kidding,
any
I'm kidding,
metal
but
or any
seriously,
material to
Skyrim, holy
sustain.
cow.
In fact, many
Holy
metals
cow,
would just
Skyroot. You
vaporize
guys'
into thin air
computers are
at those
just
temperatures.
awesome.
So to make all of this work, we employ something known as regenerative cooling.
S4 performance normal.
Yeah, and
There we
we've got
go.
to call out
Stage
that
4
the
performance
S4
is nominal.
performance is nominal. And
Just
so I was
what we
mentioning
want
about the
to hear.
regenerative cooling, and the best way to understand this type of cooling is to imagine
Plus 14 minutes.
multiple tubes
Once stage 2
joined
sits down,
side
we
by
have to wait
side
for
and then
nominal
arranged into a
orbital
circular
insertion
fashion
call
to
out.
form the thrust
And
chamber.
once that is,
And these
we
tubes
still gotta
they
wait for
need to
payload
be
deployment,
very,
but
very
even when
thin
that after
to
nominal
exchange
insertion, the
heat
payload be in orbit.
effectively,
We gotta deploy
which
the
means
four
that
payloads.
manufacturing
Wow,
is usually
look at that. They
a
fixed
challenge.
it.
And even after the temperatures would still be too high for normal
I think
metals
that's telemetry
to
loss.
handle. And for this exact purpose,
What?
we employ something known as
telemetry loss?
film
Yeah,
cooling.
probably.
Probably
just lots of
even
ground
though it sounds like a
station.
fancy name, it's just involves injecting
Probably
fine
just-
jets of fuel along the walls of the chamber to effectively
Did it shut
add a
down?
barrier
No.
of colder
No.
gas
This animation's
between
really cool,
the
though.
combustion chamber and the metal walls. And
Yeah.
essentially,
AI is working.
I get asked very often
Very
is,
nice animation.
Yeah.
then why is it called regenerative cooling, right? The
Oh!
thought process is the tiny tube.
Mission Control is very happy. Are they in orbit?
Stage
Oh, that's for
cutoff
fun.
shot should be in a minute.
Yeah, so around a minute, we expect shutdown.
Bro, they're going insane.
Let's
और
listen in. Let's
अभी
listen in.
यान
This is history in the making.
450 किलोमीटर की ऊंचाई तक पहुंच
Become
चुका
the
है
third
जो कि
country
उसका निर्धारित कक्षा है
to
There we go.
reach
और
the,
कोर्स फेज
the
प्रारंभ है
third
Ji haan.
country to have a
And
private
it's
company to
traveling
reach
at
orbit.
7.3
USA,
kilometers
China,
per second at an altitude
and
of
now India.
453
Stage for
kilometers
cutoff
Hopefully here.
should be
right now.
in 20
What about
seconds.
What about New Zealand?
So
We don't talk
coming
about New
back
Zealand.
to the regenerative cooling point of things. The tiny tubes around
Rocket Lab's
the
from the United States. You didn't know
thrust
that?
chamber of the engine
They launched from New
essentially
Zealand, but they're from the United
have
States.
fuel pumped through it.
Yes,
And-
thrust cut off.
It's from the United
Oh,
That's
And
for
we
cutoff.
got confirmation
Waiting.
that we have cutoff of
Wait.
the Raman 2 engine, which means
Solaris
that
satellite separate.
Here we go!
we have
Holy
separation of the
cow!
Solaris satellite and the Scope satellite.
Vikram
Both satellites
Aagaman
have
mission
been deployed
successfully.
successfully,
To mission
and we
director.
have reached space on our first
जी
attempt
हाँ,
successfully.
इतिहास में पहली बार एक यान ने अपने
we go, Indian
प्रथम
flag
परीक्षण
raised. Oh my
उड़ान
God,
में
here we
ही
go.
उपग्रहों को उनकी निर्धारित कक्षा
Oh
में
my
स्थापित
God.
कर दिया है
No way.
And now comes something very, very interesting. You can see on your screen from on board
Wait.
the cosmic bloom
Yo.
and the micro art. And we have sun
No.
rising behind it. It is the dawn
India.
of a new space era.
Show us the
ये
flag.
एक नए अंतरिक्ष युग का प्रारंभ है सूर्य
The
के
flag
किरण
fail,
ने
uh-oh.
ये प्रकाशित कर दिया है
Skyroot has actually completely redefined orbital flights, I guess, forever.
यस
Holy cow.
अवश्य ये कथन बिल्कुल
Plus
सही है
17 minutes.
Wait, where's that flag? I need to see that
So
Indian flag.
right now we are awaiting
Hello everybody.
the Cosmoser
Today we have
satellite
created history.
to
Vikram-I
perform.
Aagaman mission is a grand success.
Yes!
And we've heard call out from the mission director that the Aagaman mission is a grand success.
सफलता पूर्वक
Congratulations to India,
mission,
the third
Aagaman.
country
Wow.
to reach,
ने
the third country to have a
इतिहास के
private
पन्नों
company
में
to reach
अपना
orbit.
नाम अंकित
Go India!
What an
Hello, space.
amazing
We have
achievement.
arrived.
Good job,
Holy
Sky.
cow.
Good job, India.
Oh,
Welcome to the privatized space.
Thank
flight
you
world.
for joining us today.
Thank you for being with us on this historic journey today. With Raman 2 and Vikram-I now safely in orbit, we are not just reaching space, we are opening space for
oh
all.
my.
आज की इस ऐतिहासिक उड़ान में
Look
जुड़ने
at
के
how
लिए
happy they
आपका
are.
हार्दिक धन्यवाद विक्रम-1 ने सफलतापूर्वक सारे उपग्रहों को कक्षा में पहुंचा दिया है और भारत के अंतरिक्ष सफर में एक नया उज्जवल अध्याय खोल दिया है धन्यवाद जय हिंद जय भारत
Good afternoon.
Okay. Immediate announcement.
Good afternoon, everyone. We'll let them celebrate. Good afternoon.
To repeat himself.
I am privileged to formally announce that the first ever Indian private sector launch has been successfully completed.
Wow. And they did it on the first try. I think that's a first. That's probably a first.
Not
for
only
a third world
did Vikram-I meet its mission objective, which was simply to clear the tower. It went all the way up to 453-kilometer orbit, successfully completed all the tasks, and something that is way beyond expectation for the very first orbital launch ever taken by an Indian private company.
Congratulations.
There is not much more that I want to say on this occasion. I would like to invite Pawan and Bharat to talk about their journey and how they feel today. This momentous milestone that Indian private sector space initiatives have had. And I would like to thank everyone involved in this. Of course, the Skyroot team. The Skyroot team has worked day and night to make this day happen, ably supported by the team from SAR, from Extended ISRO, and from InSpace. So thank you everyone for giving India this proud moment. Thank you.
Maybe this was just hidden from the screen, but yeah.
Look at photos, probably. Holy cow, bro.
Yeah, so that will be it for us, because we're not going to listen to 20 minutes of announcements. But yeah, that was a great launch indeed. Kat, what did you think of today?
Holy cow.
Just holy cow.
Yeah, holy cow, that was awesome. Oh. Yeah. They're very excited.
Oh, I know.
Congratulations to India. Congratulations to Skyroot, and congratulations to the entire country of India for this. Like, this is awesome. So just congratulations to you. Yeah.
Yeah, they deserve a congratulations.
Yes. Max, what do you got to say?
That was amazing. It was history in the making.
I don't know what's good.
And it also means that that the world is 3 for 3 with the first launch with all 3 countries' successful orbital.
They're currently talking to the Prime Minister of India right now. 1 second.
Sir, we are very, very privileged to hear you. First, your voice after the success.
भारत और पूरी टीम, सबसे पहले तो आपको बहुत बहुत बधाई। आपने 2 काम किए हैं। एक तो आसमान में नए पौधे गाड़ दिए हैं, और दूसरा जमीन में भी उस रूट्स को आपने मजबूती दी है जो देश के नौजवानों को आगे आने की प्रेरणा देगी। और मुझे ये सफलता के लिए तो आनंद होना ही होना था, लेकिन आप लोगों ने जिस कमिटमेंट के साथ मेहनत की, और मैं जब आपके इन्फिनिटी कैंपस के उद्घाटन के लिए आपके साथ जुड़ा था, मेरे तो मन करता था मैं पहुंचूं, लेकिन पहुंच नहीं पाया, लेकिन आपके साथ वीडियो से जुड़ा था। और आज भी मैं इस पूरे लॉन्चिंग कार्यक्रम को देख रहा था। कब से मेरा ध्यान जो गया, आपकी पूरी टीम 25-30 साल की दिखती है। ये मुझे और खुशी दे रही थी। शुरू में आपके चेहरे पर चिंता भी नजर आती थी, लेकिन फिर मैं देख रहा था कि खुशियों से माहौल भर गया। मैं आपको, आपकी पूरी टीम को इस महत्वपूर्ण निर्णय के लिए और महत्वपूर्ण सफलता के लिए मैं बहुत बहुत बधाई देता हूं। जब हम स्पेस को प्राइवेट तब मेरे सामने कई सारी आशंकाएं रखी गई थी कि ये तो हो नहीं सकता, कैसे करोगे, वैसे करोगे, लेकिन मैं इसको आगे बढ़ता ही गया। अब आपके कारण मेरे उस निर्णय को ताकत मिल गई है। अब मेरी टीम भी स्वीकार करेगी, यहाँ देश के नौजवानों पर भरोसा करना चाहिए, उनको काम देना चाहिए और वो करके दिखाते हैं। आपने काम करके दिखाया है। मैं आपकी और आपकी टीम को फिर से एक बार बहुत बहुत बधाई देता हूं।
Hello, sir. Thanks a lot for your wishes. And our team, entire team of Skyroot, more than 1,000 people are here in Sriharikota and listening to you. Our hearts are swelling with pride, and this means a lot to us.
देखिए, ये मिशन आगमन है। अब आगमन को तो और आगे बढ़ते ही जाना है।
Sure, sir. और सर आपका कार्ड जो आप भेजे थे, that has successfully reached space and you have written Vande Mataram. So Vande Mataram is in orbit.
देखिए, मेरे लिए बहुत खुशी की बात है, जब आपने सुझाव भेजा तो मेरे मन में कई विचार आए थे, लेकिन आखिर मैंने सोचा मैं सिर्फ वंदे मातरम लिखूंगा। उसके दो कारण थे। इस बार हमारा देश वंदे मातरम के 150 वर्ष मना रहा है, तो मैं चाहता था कि इसको एक नए तरीके से मनाएं, और वंदे मातरम ही था जिसने देश के नौजवानों को हमेशा देश के लिए जीने मरने की प्रेरणा दी थी। और आज वंदे मातरम हमें देश के लिए जीने की ताकत देता है, और आप लोगों ने जी करके दिखाया है। आपका जो कुछ भी मिशन है, मैं इसको एक प्रकार से वंदे मातरम मिशन ही देखता हूं कि भारत मां की गरिमा को नई ऊंचाइयों पर पहुंचाना, नई पीढ़ी को टेक्नोलॉजी को लाभ देना और नई पीढ़ी को टेक्नोलॉजी में आने के लिए प्रेरित करना, हर प्रकार से। और उसमें से मेरे मन में विचार आया कि लंबा कुछ ना लिखूं, सिर्फ वंदे मातरम मेरे भाव व्यक्त करूं। और मुझे खुशी है कि कल आपने उस बात को मीडिया से भी शेयर किया, और आज इस सफलता के साथ वंदे मातरम का भाव भी नई ऊंचाइयों को पार कर रहा है।
Thank you, sir.
मैं आपकी पूरी टीम को बहुत बहुत बधाई देता हूं, और जल्द से जल्द आपको मिलने के लिए निमंत्रण भी देता हूं।
Thank you, sir. Thanks a lot. Thank you, sir. We are privileged to hear you. I'm privileged to have your blessings. Entire team of Skyroot, entire India is really proud of your initiative to start the space program, open it up to private sector, and now we see historically, first time probably a private company have built and successfully reached an orbit in the first attempt. Thanks a lot. It's happening from India, and this is a 100% designed in India rocket, 100% manufactured in India, and I think thanks to entire team Skyroot, whose average age is just 28 years.
देखिए, समय था जब मैं आत्मनिर्भर भारत की बात करता था, तो ना समझी में कुछ लोग उसकी मजाक उड़ाते थे, लेकिन आज आपने सिद्ध कर दिया कि हम इस क्षेत्र में भी आत्मनिर्भर बनने में समर्थ हैं, और आपने उस समर्थक को दिखाया है। और मैं पक्का मानता हूं कि अब सबूत हमारे सामने है, साक्ष्य हमारे सामने है, और ये आपकी टीम ने करके दिखाया है।
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
तो आपकी टीम खुशियां मनाने में लग रहेगी।
जरूर सर, एंड इनफैक्ट हम जब 2018 में स्काईरूट स्टार्ट किया था, उस टाइम पॉलिसी नहीं थे, देयर वाज नो फंडिंग एनवायरनमेंट और प्राइवेट सेक्टर में टैलेंट भी नहीं था, और हम फिर से हमारा जॉब्स छोड़ के स्काईरूट चालू किया था. एंड नाउ वी आर वेरी प्राउड दैट द गवर्नमेंट इज enabled us and opened up the sector to private players, and now we stand as India's first private company which have launched a rocket to orbit and also created a global milestone, all from India, with a fully Indian team, 100% built in India. Thanks a lot for enabling this journey and also setting a big vision for 50 launches in 2030. Definitely, I don't see it as a challenge, sir. Thanks a lot for your encouragement and looking forward to meet you, sir, in person.
आप आगे बढ़िए, मैं पूरी तरह आपके साथ हूँ, और आपको तो आगे बढ़िए नहीं कहना चाहिए, मुझे कहना चाहिए और ऊपर उड़िए.
थैंक यू सर.
जरूर सर, थैंक यू, थैंक्स अ लॉट सर.
चलिए, बहुत अभी आपको कुछ न कुछ काम होगा, लेकिन सबसे पहले मेरा आपकी टीम को सचमुच में मुझे देखकर तो खुशी हो रही थी कि इतने मेरे देश के नौजवान क्या कमाल कर रहे हैं. यही मेरे लिए खुशी की बात थी. बहुत बहुत बधाई फिर से एक बार, और बहुत बहुत शुभकामनाएं. और आपने जो टारगेट तय किया है वो समय से पहले टारगेट पूरा होगा, मुझे पक्का विश्वास है.
थैंक यू सर, थैंक्स अ लॉट. हम जरूर कोशिश करेंगे.
ऑल द बेस्ट.
थैंक यू.
Okay. Is that India's not successfully launched their first privately developed rocket? So with this, we're going to be ending today's coverage. I'd like to thank everyone. You can go and say something, Max. Yes.
So this is the first.
Absolutely no words.
Privately developed rocket in India, which means the world is 3 for 3 with the first privately developed rocket from all 3 countries. The first launch of them being successful. For United States, the first privately developed rocket was Pegasus. That the first mission was successful. For China, I forgot what rocket, but that mission.
Juche-2.
And now with India, we see their first launch of a privately developed rocket going orbital is successful too. So we are 3 for 3, and I definitely look forward for who will be the 4th country to join the
Probably Europe. Probably a country in Europe.
Yeah, okay. We're definitely looking at
Netherlands for sure.
Looking at we're definitely looking at like RFA.
Yes. Anyways,
about one thing about the Netherlands. We have a company in the Netherlands with.
We're not doing self-promotion here.
No, it's not mine. It's called Delft Aerospace Rocket Engineering.
Oh.
That's a Dutch company I know of that's working on rockets.
Yeah,
anyways, with that.
We're looking at RFA. ISAR Aerospace.
ESAR. No. That's not launching till like 2030.
ISAR. What?
Anyways, with that, we're going to be ending today's coverage. I'd like to thank everyone for joining with us. Like Aiden. Aiden, want to go and show yourself?
I mean,
Tracer.
I just turned the camera off, so I can't.
Oh.
Yeah,
dang.
I'm sorry.
Anyways, with that, we're going to end like Aiden. I'd like to thank Max. I'd like to thank the viewers for joining us for today's coverage of the historic Vikram-I Aagaman launch. Thank you for joining with us. And we'll see you again soon. And good night.